Hey YouTube, it's ICU, and today I'm going to be unboxing the brand new mid-2012 MacBook Pro with the Retina display. Now first of all, I just wanted to say that I had an upgraded one on order with Apple. However, it's about 2 to 3 weeks out, so I just decided to see what I could get locally, and I came across this. Now this is just the very basic entry-level 2012 MacBook Pro with the Retina display. However, I will go over all of the specifications of the mid-range and also of the higher-end model that you can actually get online. So to start off, first of all, let's go over the box. Now on the front here, you just have a picture of the MacBook Pro. On the bottom and on the top, it just says MacBook Pro. And on both sides it actually has the Apple logo. So let's go ahead and take a look at that really quick. Alright, now let's actually get into the specifications. On the back here you do have the specification sticker, and over here to the left more you actually have another sticker that has all of your information such as your part number and your serial number. But we're really focused on the specifications, so let's go over those right now. Now this specific model is powered by a 2.3 GHz quad-core Intel Core i7 processor with 6 MB of L3 cache, and this has turbo boost up to 3.3 GHz, and the other processors that you can actually get are the 2.6 GHz and the 2.7 GHz processors. And when the turbo boost kicks in on all three of these different processors, they increase by an increment of 1. Now for those of you that don't know, turbo boost enables the operating system to let the processor know to essentially kick into overdrive, and then what it'll do is provide you with that extra speed when the processor starts to get pushed. Now this one also has 8 GB of RAM, and again this is the base model, so even the base model this time comes with 8 GB. Previously you could only get up to 8 GB from Apple and it shipped with 4 GB. However, now you can go all the way up to 16 GB of RAM with the new Retina display MacBook Pro. And also the last part that is upgradable is the flash storage. Now again, because this is the base model, it just comes with 256 GB of flash storage, but you can also get it with either 512 or 768 GB of flash storage. Now of course, one of the key selling points aside from the flash architecture inside of this laptop is the new Retina display. Now this is a 15.4-inch LED backlit display with IPS technology or in-plane switching to allow for maximum viewing angles, and it also has a resolution of 2880 by 1800. Now this is outstanding. This is a total of 5 million pixels, and that's 3 million more pixels than your standard HD 1080p TV. So this is the highest resolution 15-inch laptop you'll find, and it provides for some really great quality. As far as graphics goes, it's equipped with an onboard Intel HD Graphics 4000. However, it also has a standalone GPU or graphics processing unit that's an NVIDIA GeForce GT 650M graphics processor with 1 GB of GDDR5 or graphics memory. So unfortunately, you cannot upgrade the graphics in this laptop. It just comes the same throughout all of the models. Now, of course, you also have your standard built-in HD FaceTime camera, and it also comes with some really great ports. It has 2 Thunderbolt ports with support for high-speed I/O with backwards compatibility for mini display devices, and it's actually the first time Apple has included 2 Thunderbolt ports on a MacBook Pro. And another new thing, Apple introduced 2 USB 3.0 ports to this computer, as well as an HDMI port. So again, as I mentioned, we have the option to equip some really great peripherals to the new Retina display MacBook Pro. Of course, it still has your standard SD card slot, and it has a headphone jack port with built-in stereo speakers, and of course it has your 802.11n Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 4.0, as well as a backlit keyboard and an ambient light sensor, and it comes equipped with OS X, obviously, and iLife. Now all of this technology is packed into a relatively slimmed down form factor in comparison to the older MacBook Pros, and it's definitely one of the thinner, more powerful laptops out there. Now it comes in at just 0.71 inches thick as opposed to 0.95 inches thick for the previous MacBook Pro models, and that's 25% thinner. Alright, now I think that's enough of going over the specs. Let's actually get into the unboxing of this. So this box is similar to the boxes that they use for the MacBook Airs in the sense that it doesn't flip open like previous MacBook Pro boxes. It just slides off, similar to all of the other boxes. So the iPhone box, the iPad box, and also the MacBook Air box. Alright, here we go, just flipping this thing over. Let's go ahead and take the lid off after we zoom out. Okay, there we go, nothing inside of the top lid. Obviously, we just have the MacBook Pro on top, And once we take it out, we are greeted by just the charger and also this little booklet. Let's get into this first. So taking the charger out, it's encased with some cardboard here. And we actually have two different options. Let's go over that first. After we take the plastic off. So we can either plug this straight into the wall or we can take it off. And you can also buy adapters if you're in a different country that doesn't support the standard one that we use here in the United States. But like I said, two different options. You can either have this one plugged in, so you can just plug it straight into your wall, or you can plug this in to extend it. So you just plug this part into your wall. And this is the MagSafe 2.0 port, so this is different than what Apple used in previous generation MacBook Pro and MacBook Air models. It is actually a bit bigger, but it's also thinner up here at the top. So it's bigger overall, but it's also thinner up here at the top. So that's actually how they could get the thinned down form factor for the new Retina display MacBook Pro. All right, setting that aside, let's go ahead and take a look at this right here. We're greeted by a first packet that just says hello. And it gives you a brief overview of the Mac, it looks like, just explaining different parts of the actual computer itself, and also kind of getting into the operating system. Looks like fingertips for the iPhone here, just some general information on the Mac itself. Setting that aside, we just have a little booklet here that goes over the MacBook Pro. All right, of course, we do have the two Apple stickers, and we also have a microfiber cleaning cloth here. All right, now let's get into what you all came to this video for, the new MacBook Pro. After we take that plastic off, let's set the box aside a little bit. Let's turn this thing on. If I can get it open without dropping it here. Once we open it up, we do have a protective sheet that we can take off to reveal the screen. And as opposed to the old MacBook Pro models, we no longer have a power button right here, as instead it's on the keyboard, just like with the MacBook Air. Now let's go ahead and wait for this thing to boot up and see how fast it actually takes to come on, thanks to the new flash architecture. That's another thing, because it actually doesn't have any moving parts. The fans hardly kick on, and when they do kick on, it's barely noticeable because the blades are positioned asymmetrically. So that means it spreads the sound of the fans throughout various frequencies to become less detectable to the user's ear. So that's just another cool thing I thought I'd mention. And here we are, we're up and running now. I'm just gonna go ahead and close it and open it again to see how fast it brings it back on. All right, apparently we have to click the mouse there, but it did come on pretty quick. So let's close that again. And like I said, this thing is actually surprisingly light in comparison to my old MacBook Pro, which I'm actually using right now to record the audio for this video. So I can't really give you guys a quick comparison of the two. But again, this thing is really thin. Let's go over it super quick and then I'll end this video. So we actually have some air intake vents on this side and also corresponding air intake vents on the other side. So let's just go over this right here. We have our headphone jack port, USB 3.0, two Thunderbolt ports, again backwards compatible with mini display ports, and we also have MagSafe 2.0 port right here for charging. On the other side, we just have our SD card slot right here, an HDMI port, and our other USB 3.0 port. And opening it up, if I can get it open there, we have our air outtake vent right here. So that's how the cooling system works inside the new Retina display MacBook Pro. And let's see if we can get a close up here on the type. It's supposed to be extraordinary in comparison to other laptops. All right, yeah, it definitely looks great. I'm certainly going to be looking over this MacBook, and I'll get back to you guys with what I think. Be sure to rate this video up if you like it, leave any comments down below in the comment section, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be notified every time I release new videos. And until next time, this is ICU, signing out.